Welcome to a virtual presentation of the open house that was conducted on October 6th, 2022 regarding the Nelson Wastewater Treatment Facility Improvement Project in Mission, Kansas. My name is Patrick Denning, and I'm the Assistant Chief Engineer of Existing Infrastructure and helping to manage the Nelson project. This is a quick overview of the material presented in that open house. To get you up to speed on the project and an opportunity to provide your input through a survey. About a year ago, we had another open house talk about the concerns that people had regarding the project, both for the completed facility and the concerns during construction. This table summarizes the results of the surveys from that presentation a year ago. So the priorities for the completed facility were water quality, odor control, sustainability, noise, and appearance. Those were the top 5. During construction, the top 5 were odors, construction traffic, noise, hours of construction, and access to Null Park. So the project team heard these concerns and attempted to incorporate them into the design in the layouts that we're going to present today. This is the proposed site rendering of the Nelson Wastewater Treatment Facility. To get oriented, on the upper right part of the screen is Null Avenue, and in the lower kind of left is Fox Ridge Drive. The plant is located in Mission, Kansas, and this is the 30%, so preliminary layout of the wastewater facility. So we have several admins and storage facilities to the south of the site for our various operations and maintenance groups. And the primary plant, the liquid treatment process, is towards the northeast of the site, which includes clarification, biological nutrient removal, and disinfection. There's also solids processing facilities, including digesters and dewatering. This facility has been designed to incorporate odor control, which we'll talk about more later. Next, we want to show a flyover video of the wastewater treatment facility. And this is also linked separately, so if you'd like to watch this again, there's a separate link on the website where you can watch this without the rest of the presentation. In the upper right corner is a flight path of where we are on the project site. Here's coming off of Fox Ridge Drive and circling around the treatment facility. Here we're looking northeast. This is showing the digestion facility. Those are those round containers. And then up here we have the liquids treatment facility. Next, we will go down Null Avenue at approximately 6 feet in height to show the screening that the team is proposing. We'll have more information on the screening in the following slides, but here we want to show a new berm will be created to better screen the facility. That berm will include a wrought iron fence for security, as well as trees. Now, these trees are being shown at initial planting height. They will mature and grow larger, and the design team is looking for alternatives to increase the early coverage of trees and bushes by adding additional vegetation. So this is preliminary, and we realize that we need to come back with some additional screening for the early stages before the trees are fully grown. There is the existing Null gate to the wastewater facility, and now the video is turning down 49th Street looking towards the plant. And we have, again, the berm and the wrought iron fence and the young trees, which we will enhance in final design. Now it's pulling back to look back towards the northeast. Show what the completed facility will look like. Again, this is a preliminary model and things will change, but this is our best attempt to show what the facility will look like at this point in the design. This is a slide regarding odor control at the Nelson facility. The current facility is on the left, and the facilities shaded in red have odor generating potential now on the facility and are not covered. These are trickling filters and they cannot be covered because of the biological activity that's going on underneath them, but they will be replaced in the new plant with different facilities, which we'll talk about in a minute. The green are facilities that are existing that generate odor with odor control systems already on the Nelson facility. And the blue are existing administration facilities that don't generate odors. In the new facility, the administration facilities, which remain in blue, are consolidated to the south, separating the plant process from permanent residents. The green are the facilities that are proposed with odor control. And then there are some basins shown that do not have odor control, but these basins are all after oxygen has been added to the wastewater, greatly decreasing the potential for these to generate odor control or odor. At our Tomahawk facility in Leawood, these facilities are also uncovered and they do not generate odors from these facilities. Another advantage of the layout is it does reduce the footprint. The new technology from trickling filters reduces the footprint significantly, which allows us to consolidate the facilities on site. Now, one note on odor control. Odor control facilities are mechanical systems, and mechanical systems can fail. So when that happens, if and when that happens, JCW has operations and maintenance staff dedicated to responding to those issues and maintaining those systems in a timely fashion should those occur. So we do have staff dedicated to that. We monitor those on computer systems and to respond to those situations in a timely fashion. This slide shows the anticipated views from the streets surrounding the facility and the design team's efforts to screen the facility from the public. So on the upper left, you can see that the design team is planning on adding berms with trees on them to screen the facility from the public. This will go with the green infrastructure type look that the cities are looking for, as well as screen the facility from neighboring parks and residences. The berm and trees and fence are expected to extend all along Knoll Park from the plant boundary and then along 49th Street. The remainder of the site is already screened through existing vegetation. There are numbers along the berm on the upper left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those numbers correspond to pictures and photos. We have, for example, on site 1, we have a current photo where you can see the existing plant operations building. And then we have a rendered photo of what that will look like in the future with the berm, fence, and vegetation. Below figure 1, we show a cross section, which is a view along the ground now and in the future, as well as the different vegetation and structures that may be in that in the construction when it's built. So that helps to show how the berm and the vegetation will obstruct the views. So we have 3 views along Knoll Avenue, and we have 2 views along 49th Street. The berms are anticipated to be added towards the end of construction, and we will show that shortly in a slide. We also want to show that the vegetation will mature over time. So at initial planting, the trees are rather small, and these numbers correspond on each of these correspond to that previous figure. But over time, the trees will grow and fill that room to almost completely obstruct the plant site. Now, the design team does acknowledge again that after initial planting, the vegetation is somewhat sparse. And so we're looking at ways that we can enhance that in the interim while the trees are growing in size. That may be a combination of grasses, shrubs, increasing berm height, and other things that we're looking at right now, and we'll be bringing back before the final design. Water quality and sustainability was also mentioned as an important factor in the final development or the final product that we're creating here for the wastewater facility. We just wanted to highlight a few things where we're looking at water quality. So the water quality will be improved through this new facility. That's one of the drivers of the construction project, is to improve the water quality to meet future state requirements. So we're using biological nutrient removal to remove nitrogen and phosphorus from the water, which leads to algal blooms in creeks and streams and depletes oxygen when that algae, which grows from nutrients, dies. So this will increase the water quality to the downstream receiving waters. We're also taking advantage of filtration on this facility, which will help to remove solids and phosphorus, ultraviolet disinfection, which allows us to inactivate viruses and bacteria without the addition of chemicals, and reaeration, which allows us to introduce oxygen into the water before it's discharged. And from a sustainability perspective, there's several things we're doing at this facility. One is just using high efficiency motors and lighting. We're reusing methane gas that is generated in the digesters to burn it in our boilers to then reheat the digesters to keep the process going along. We're also using electric tower cranes on site so that we don't have a bunch of diesel cranes or as many diesel cranes creating on-site pollution. This is the preliminary construction schedule of the Nelson facility. At the bottom, you see a calendar from 2023 all the way to 2030. And the bars on that calendar are color-coded to match facilities that you see up above to time out the project. One of the constraints we have at the Nelson Wastewater Treatment Facility is we have to continue to treat wastewater while we construct the new facility. And that means that we cannot just destroy the whole facility and build a new one on site in one shot. We have to phase this so we can continue to treat wastewater, build a new facility, commission it, decommission something else, which then opens up a space to build something new. And eventually we will rehabilitate the whole plant that way. So because of that, that extends the construction schedule for a significant period of time. In 2023 and 2024, we are starting facilities that are down along Fox Ridge Drive. They are in the kind of the teal color. In 2024, 5, and 6, we will be doing or constructing the facilities in the kind of light green color. Those are the aeration basins for the biological nutrient removal. Primarily in 2026, we'll be working on the clarification systems. The red are the primary clarification systems, those circles, and the blue are the final clarification clarifiers. Those are in blue. And then in 27, we'll be working on the digester complex, which is the orange in the middle. After that, the heavy construction is complete, but we still have to get the facilities up and running and meeting levels of our permit levels to meet water quality requirements. So after that, there's a lot of commissioning steps and other things to get the new facility up and running, as it is a biological system. In 2029, then, we'll be coming in and adding berms and the finishing touches to the plant as we can then demolish the remainder of the old plant once the new one is fully commissioned and discharging clean water to Turkey Creek. This is a slide on what to expect during construction. So during construction, this is a very large project, and we have to make some modifications to the site to allow the construction workers to have spots to be able to move materials around, and also to be able to continue to keep the roads clear while we do all these things. So we'll talk first about parking. The green space that is currently at Lamar and Fox Ridge Drive will be converted to parking. That's on the lower left of the drawing here. The contractor will utilize plant roads and an access point and utilize some of the end of Null Avenue also for parking. This will be accessed via the plant and will not require separate access onto Null Avenue. The blue are the areas, the light blue are the areas where the contractor will be staging equipment and materials to be used during the construction process. The big red circles are tower cranes, which allow the contractor to efficiently move materials around the site. And those are the electric tower cranes mentioned previously. So they don't make noise, they don't make a lot of noise, and they are able to work in mud and other weather where a typical crane may not. There's a drawing on the left showing A, B, and C, which corresponds to the different tower cranes on site. And the tower there is the existing radio tower on site, which you can see there, it's already there now. And so it gives a relative height of how those tower cranes' height will compare to the radio tower. The dark blue is where McCarthy plans, the contractor plans to put their job trailer. So this is where the contractor's offices will be during construction. Temporarily, the berm that we talked about earlier will be extended out towards 49th Street on JCW property to make room for a job trailer that will be present during construction. On top of that berm will be a fence to help screen the job trailer from nearby residences, and there's a cross section available there as well to show how that will be screened during construction. Odor control will be maintained the entire duration of the project with existing temporary systems, whatever needs to be done to continue doing the odor control that we do now. And the construction entrance will remain off of Fox Ridge Drive. That's where materials and the contractor will be entering and leaving the site. Knoll Avenue should only see construction traffic if and when somebody is getting lost and not obeying the where we need to have the construction entrance. So we hope to minimize that to the extent possible. This slide is discussing dust and noise during construction. There is rock that will have to be broken out as part of the construction process. McCarthy plans on using hydraulic rock breakers through the demo and excavation phase of this project. That will generate noise. The contractor has figured out the periods when that will be the most significant and tried to group them, and that's shown below in the calendar. So the biological nutrient removal basins, the rectangles, those will primarily require demo and excavation in 2023 into 24. And then the clarification systems and digesters will be parts of 25 and 26. At the end of the job, we will have to demolish the existing facilities once the new plant is up and running as well. So there will be some noise on the site as those activities occur. We will follow City of Mission permitted work hours for that time, and there's a note there showing what those permitted work hours are. As far as dust and mud during construction, McCarthy will use a tire wash station located at the construction entrance and exit to wash tires before trucks leave the site and get out on Fox Ridge Drive and eventually onto the interstate to keep the streets clean in the area. They'll also utilize a street sweeper to sweep any residual debris that does get out onto Fox Ridge Drive during the construction process. On-site, dust will be mitigated with water trucks to the extent that we can, but there will be some dust and noise as part of this project. It's a large construction project, and the team will do what we can, but it should be expected that there will be some dust and noise as part of this project. There's also some offsite improvements that are required as part of this project. So Johns County Wastewater has partnered with the City of Mission to work out the sequencing of a number of improvements that need to occur here at, this is the Lamar I-35 Fox Ridge Drive area. So the first thing that needs to happen is this winter, Johns County Wastewater is going to be installing a new pipe under Fox Ridge Drive. That's the dashed blue line from our existing pumping station to the facility. We are going to try to get that done by the spring of 2023 because Mission is doing a reconstruction of Fox Ridge Drive from 51st Street to Lamar. So that'll start right after the Johnson County project is complete and will go into the fall of 2023. As part of that, they're also doing a pavement overlay on the bridge over Turkey Creek along Lamar Avenue. Now, construction traffic is getting into the site primarily from the I-35 exit ramps into onto Fox Ridge Drive and into the facility. And we did some studies that showed that this was going to be an issue as the intersection is already very congested. And so Johnson County Wastewater worked with partners at the Kansas Department of Transportation and Wyandotte County and is paying to signalize this intersection with a grant from KDOT to help pay for that. So the I-35 and Lamar intersection will be signalized in the spring and summer of 2023. Wyandotte County has agreed to take ownership of it after that and maintain those signals as those signals actually are located in Wyandotte County. So appreciate the partnership between those entities, and those will be permanent signals and a benefit to the community. As for next steps, we're about at the 30% design level on the 6th of October. It will take about a year to get to the final design. And at that point, we'll have another open house and presentation to show what the final design is going to look like and get input on that. The next public opportunity for public comment is on November 28th, when Johnson County Wastewater will be taking this plan to the Mission Planning Commission for their review of the preliminary development plan. So that's the next public engagement where the public is invited to speak on the project. The other way that you can express your thoughts, concerns, things you like or don't like about the project is via a survey that is posted on our website, and it is going to be active through November 30th of 2022. So after you've completed this presentation, if you want to take a quick survey, that would help us understand the community likes and dislikes of what we're showing today, and help us improve. With that, we appreciate time you take today to hear about the project, and again, encourage you to take the survey. Thanks for listening.